Hey everyone, this is Savannah Joel with Fame Magazine, and today we're sitting down with Ryder Beer. Ryder, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Happy to be here.
Cool. I'm super excited to be talking with you about your music and your career. I wanted to really first start kind of in the past, starting with how you came about creating your own music and like just like your background in it and like what really inspired you in starting to make your own. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I started out playing the drums when I was like a little kid, and I was just like so drawn to music ever since I literally was like 4 years old. And I kind of shifted into like production, like making beats and like producing out tracks. And then I kind of shifted into like drum sequencing on this thing called an MPC.
Mhm.
It's like a sequencer. I don't know if you know what that is, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It has like pads, you like finger drum. It's a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
fun.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah,
what it's called. Got it.
yeah. And then I just was like, I knew I could sing my whole life, and I just was like, why don't I just give singing a shot? And just started recording, and I got addicted to it, and I've just been hooked ever since.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, people need to hear me because I'm so talented and awesome. Yeah. No, I get it. I read that you also left Berkeley to
I
like
did, yes.
music.
I left Berkeley to just get in the studio and just work hands on, honestly.
Yeah. How did that decision shape where you are now? Like, did you learn anything about yourself in the process of that transition?
I actually met a lot of cool people that I'm still friends with to this day from Berkeley. But yeah, I think that it helped me grow into the artist that I am today for sure. Just being in the studio and being very hands on.
Is there anything like when you were in school that like you took with you to this career that you're like, oh, I'm glad I learned that. I'm glad I'm like applying this thing to this career path that I'm in now.
Um, I'm not trying to call out Berkeley, but no, honestly, nothing that like
Mm.
was super helpful. Maybe actually the one production skill I learned how to like mess with MIDI.
What was your major? That's the word.
It was EDI, electronic digital instrument.
Oh my God, I've never heard of that. That's
NP&E was my production was music. What does NP&E stand for? Music production and engineering.
sure. I don't
Sure.
know. Yeah, we can Google it later. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I find that fascinating that you can have like such a specific niche in like your major because I mean most of the time people are like psychology, business, nursing, blah 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 blah. So I find that cool, but I don't know much about Berkeley, but that's awesome. But also like obviously being Madison Beer's brother, you've grown up in the music industry. How did your relationship with her like influence your musical journey, if it did at all? And how did you like create your own?
Yeah, I mean, seeing her on stage and seeing her perform and seeing her grow as an artist has been like super awesome, and seeing the whole journey and all the steps we've had to take in our both of our lives to get to the point where she is it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think she's so cool. So I'm happy to see like you also having your own career and having your own path and sharing your love for music. I think that's really special. But your single, One That Got Away, has like I feel like a really emotional core. Can you walk us through like the moment or experience that inspired you to write that track?
I don't think it's super emotional as it is just relatable.
Okay.
And I think that everyone grows as a person, and the young love that you had or the young relationship that you had wasn't like, everyone thinks they're going to get married to the first, like your first love and whatnot. And I think that it's just like super relatable and cute and hits kind of all the aspects of someone could cry to it maybe if they're still hooked on that, or if they,
Yeah.
whatever, or they could be happy and just relate to it in different ways. I think it hits a lot of different points very well.
Mhm. Do you find like more inspiration from like positive experiences or
Right,
like
right.
negative experiences?
Um, I think both helps. I think that like working through your emotions first and figuring them out and then turning them into a song makes more sense in my eyes, because it's like you could actually give advice through your song,
Sure.
instead of like skewing and like manipulating the story of as it is. Like you understand it and now you can put it into like a record.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then making it into like you have a solution for someone that's going through this thing that they're
Right.
experiencing. That's such a good point. I also read that your sound is influenced by artists like 1975, Frank Ocean, fantastic people. Is there any like elements from those artists that you incorporate into your music, or like how do you try to keep your sound like distinct from those
Yeah,
inspirations?
I think that's the biggest thing is being distinct is like they have their own sounds and I think I reference them because I don't really make music like them, but
Hmm.
I think that they're so amazing and that I think that their own sounds are so distinct and I feel like it helps to look at people like that and try to be in my own lane, if that makes any sense, and
Yeah, absolutely.
try to defer from the rest of what's going on in the world.
Yeah. Is there any other artists that you take a lot of inspiration from, or even just like
Yeah,
anybody that you channel that you feel like
I
inspires you?
love Justin Timberlake.
Really? That's so
Yes.
okay. I mean, well, yeah. That makes so much sense. I haven't. I mean, I love his old music, big fan of his old stuff.
Yes, his old stuff I love.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Do you have any like biggest challenges that you're facing as an emerging artist that you want to share that you think like would be good to share with someone that also is an emerging artist to overcome?
I think that you shouldn't get so looped up on a song, and I think you should just trust with the people that you love and that you care for and that you trust around you. I think that's the biggest thing is not listening to yourself as much as you should. I mean, it's important to like what you're making, but if everyone's screaming at you to release something, just like go with it, you know?
Yeah, whatever, going with your gut, that type of vibe,
Yeah.
for sure. Is there anything specific you want listeners to take away from this new single specifically?
That everyone goes through what this song's about, and I think that it's important to know that you're not alone, and it's just a very relatable song for a lot of people.
Yeah, do you think it like sets the tone for future music? Is this like a good like, oh, this is what you guys are going to be hearing from me soon? More of?
Yes and no, you know, I think it's a good stepping point song where I think I could transition to whatever record hits me and feels the best for me next because I feel like it's so in the middle of so many genres. So yes and no.
Okay, cool. Is there anything next for you that you want to share? As in like album,
I
collaboration?
think I'm just gonna stick with some singles for now.
Hmm.
Collaborations would be dope. I don't know. Maybe I'll collab with one of my Berkeley friends. They're so talented and they're such amazing people. So yeah, like maybe producing and collaborating with them.